Good morning, everyone. Happy Wacky Wednesday. Is that a loser or is that a W? Two losers. Two losers make a whack. A wacky. I don't know.
Whatever. Batman forever. Remember that?
I remember. I do remember. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
silly. I'm Shirley Sally.
Did you take a nap this morning or did you just
No. I'm drinking coffee.
Oh well, that's good.
Yeah.
Get you woke up.
I
Um,
I was woke up, but like I had an experience on my bike this last night too, to
oh,
where I lost a pedal.
oh my gosh.
So I'm riding my bike and I'm trying to get to work, and I'm actually doing better because at first, whenever I first started riding, it would take me 20 minutes to get to work. Well, now it only takes me 13.
Oh, good.
And so I'm riding my bike, and all of a sudden, I just realized that I'm I'm rotating this thing with just like this thing
Yeah,
sticking out,
this
this
bar.
rod. Yeah. I'm like, crap, I don't even know where it went.
Yeah.
So I'm coming back home, and this thing hurts your foot. Like, there's a pedal for a reason. And it's like, there's some parts where I have to kind of jam to, get to a street to turn, to, miss traffic or whatever.
Right.
And that's a pain in the ass without a freaking pedal, I tell you. So, but this morning I found my pedal, and so I'm gonna see if Brandon could maybe tape it on or something. I don't know what he's gonna have to do, but like I can't have that. I gotta have my pedal.
Yeah. It's kind of
What
that is important.
what is your truck? What is it?
A
A
98
98
GMC
3MC.
Chevy Sierra Chevy Sierra K 1500 or something like that. Yeah, K 1500, I think.
Have you checked Rock Auto for a starter?
What is it called?
It's a
Rock
rock
Auto.
auto. Yeah.
Rock Auto. I haven't. No, we
They
were
exist.
checking.
Just a second. My husband's checking.
Okay. We just checked like Advanced Auto because that's like close to us, and um
This is like a mail order.
O'Reilly's.
Riley's.
The rock auto is like a mail order where you can.
Do you know what size motor?
Um
Um,
it's not a 350.
350. Is it a V6 or a V8?
It's got to be a
It's
V8.
got to be a 305.
Must be a
Must
305.
be a 305.
Uh,
Because
it has a four-wheel drive unit in it. I think it's a small block, so no, okay, it's a 8.5. No, it's a V8 5.7 liter 350 small block. That's what he wrote anyways on Facebook, so sorry. I don't usually know any of all that.
Well, it's good that you had that somewhere.
Yeah. I've been trying to find the chat.
Yeah, Margot's in there and the crazy card and fishing and picking.
Crazy Card is Derek, right? Or Darren. Darren, I think. Do you know?
I don't. I ain't got no clue.
Isn't it Darren? The crazy card?
The crazy card. We had a little after my haul video. We did like a working hangout type thing, and Valerie, the new gal, she came in,
Oh, cool.
and so we got to learn a little bit about her, and she got to do that, and she thought it was a great idea, and she's, I guess, her and her husband own a heating and cooling business, and so
Oh,
she does
fun.
that on she does eBay and Amazon. Oh, he's Mike. The crazy card is Mike.
Mike?
That doesn't sound
Why am I
anything like
thinking
Darren.
Darren?
I don't know.
Mike.
But yeah,
Hey,
she was
Sally.
she was really
Oh,
really
sorry.
cool. Really cool. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I just want to tell you before I forget. I'm sorry. The brand new ones on Rock Auto are what? 68? 61? 79?
Oh, okay.
And a 61.79. And a remanufactured one
48.
is 48.99 on Rock Auto. 3 days to
Okay.
get it. So that's quite a bit cheaper than what you found. Sorry, Valerie.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Thank you for looking that up for me, Nikki.
But yeah, so we found out a little bit of information about her and what she does and everything, and they just kind of do eBay and Amazon, in their spare time. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, Mike, were you ever in a hangout with me and Dusty at the same time? Because I'm just thinking, I must be thinking of somebody else. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, Mike's in a lot of other hangouts also, hangouts and videos, and in
Oh,
the chat.
groups.
Yeah, I see his name come up quite a bit. So not a bad thing, but I just
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
yeah, which is a good thing.
You're like Batman. I don't know. I have a thing with Batman today, I guess.
I got a phone for you. Did you see that phone?
The red one?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I should have got both of them. I knew I should have, but they were going so high.
So
Like the
what do
other
you think you can sell that for?
Between 70 and 80 at least.
And you only paid what for it? 15?
I can't remember.
I think that's what you said.
I paid up on that. I think it was more than that.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't remember because I bought so much. I don't even remember what I paid for it.
I thought you said 30.
I think it was 30. It was 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
well,
yeah, I should definitely get my money back plus,
just
and then some. So
try and get as much as you can for it, and then next time, just you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll have that experience under your belt.
Well, yeah, and what I may do is just I may list it for $99.99 and put best offer on it and call it good.
Yeah. Good morning, Mary.
So
yeah, true that.
think I went to bed at 1 this morning. And then I slept good.
Fishing and Picking wants to see your red phone.
Oh, goodness. Let me see if I can.
It's probably buried.
It kind of is, but let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
We'll do it for him.
My secretary got it.
We buy a lot of stuff off of Rock Auto, and we've
Oh,
always
yeah?
had luck. Yeah, so usually cheaper than everywhere else. So, like considerably cheaper. It's just sometimes you have, it's like 3 days or whatever. So it, depending on how long you want to wait.
Right.
But for that big difference in price, it might be worth.
True.
Do I still have feedback?
Yeah. It's so cool.
I remember that my grandmother and grandfather had Grandma and Grandpa Daniel, they had a rotary phone in the back in Grandpa's room. And I would get on there and I would crank call people. I just loved doing the little rotary thing. So I would just, who I called, probably Japan or something.
Do it. I wanna hear it.
I haven't even played with it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah.
It does say AT&T on the back.
Oh,
so
cool.
I think this is one of the ones that they used to rent. Used to rent these phones.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if it says anything on the bottom. So it says sold by AT&T, purchase date 9/15/84. Model is standard. And it's pretty cool because it's got the little rubber feet to it. And it's in really good condition.
Yeah.
It's got the loud and the volume on there.
That's so cool.
So, yeah, I should have got the other one. I regret that. But the other one was like, man, he was not, they weren't letting go of that. They wanted them just as much as I did.
Yeah.
So.
What was the other one up to?
It was, well, they bid 35 on it. So the next bid was 40. And I just decided there wasn't, I didn't want to go any farther.
Yeah. They might have just been buying it just to have it. So
right.
They would probably pay up for it.
Or, maybe they were trying to, what's that called? When you try to bid somebody up, but your plan is to get out.
Yeah. Stick it to them.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that could have been happening.
Playing a Dave.
Fishing and Picking says, oh yeah, the Amish gals would love that red phone out by the road.
Fishing and Picking.
You and your Amish gals. I tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a good piece. What was that?
Was not me. That was not me. Not this time.
Zombies.
It was this right here.
Boop. Oh, naked man. Naked man to the rescue.
It was Sally, don't lie.
No, it was not. Good morning,
Good morning,
Sassy.
Sassy Seller. In stereo. But yeah, I feel pretty good about that. So, and then the radio, I tried the radio last night and it does work. I didn't get a station, but I kind of messed with the controller a little bit. I might have to work with it a little bit and see if it'll come, if I can get a station in. But oh my goodness, Sassy Seller, miss y'all. We've had strep. First weeks of school. Oh my gosh. I hate strep. Hate it, hate it, hate it.
I hate when the kids go back to school.
You hate that?
Get every boogity buggy that.
Well, that's true. That's true. That makes it really. I don't like getting strep throat. That is the worst.
It's awful and it takes forever to get rid of.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys are getting better and
yeah, quick.
get through it. Lysol your house. Just gonna have to like soak your house in Lysol and
that's what I do. So bad that you can like actually walk to the house and taste it. But like, yeah, just get those Lysol wipes and just wipe everything, door handles and everything, especially if you have kids. I mean, they just carry so many germs.
Yep. So I have a question for you, Sally, that was mentioned last night.
Oh, yeah?
In the working hangout.
Mm-hmm.
As I was talking about me not being around next week for like 2 weeks.
Are you leaving for 2 weeks?
I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm going to miss you.
Yes.
I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too.
Don't lie.
All right. So
I didn't hear what happened.
I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation. Do you know what vacation means?
It's where you leave and you never come back.
It means you leave and you ain't never coming back. That's right.
I want to go on vacation too.
I'll be back. I gotta go see my grandbabies.
Yeah.
Yeah, aren't you going Labor Day or something?
I'm leaving next Wednesday, so a week from today. Yes. And then I'll be back on the 13th. Actually, I get back on the 12th, but I'll be back on the show on the 13th. So they were asking me if you are going to be willing to do a show.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely will do what I can.
Okay.
You know, if
it can be hard when you're working and you're tired, and even if it's just for an hour or something,
Yeah. She hired that one girl at the store, and she hasn't been there the last 2 days, so it's probably a done deal.
Well, that's not good.
It's stupid, but same time, Job's girlfriend's moving in on the 4th. And so maybe if she gets here quick enough, puts in an app, maybe we can get her going on there.
Oh, that'd be good.
We're just not going to tell her that she's living with us.
Yeah.
What does it
Nobody
matter?
needs to know that.
I know. And hey, if I can get her going, tell her this is what you got to do. You got to, she knows that she needs a job.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a whole lot of places hiring right now because, it's off season. It's going to be off season soon. So
it's slow down time.
So this is the position.
Right. Good morning, Grandma Wrinkles.
Good morning.
Well, and that would be a good thing too, is if possibly, You know, maybe you could get her trained for nighttime, and then maybe you could get a daytime job.
That ain't gonna happen. This is my
Right?
daytime job.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Good morning, Queen City Picker. You got indoor bathrooms? Oh,
Wow.
I'm so jealous.
Wow.
It's so funny. It's so funny because I have to tell you this, okay? When people come from up, you know, from down south or whatever, and you know, they come from Detroit and all these little suburbs from Detroit, you know, and they're like, you know, well off.
Right.
They come off the freeway and they hit our store, you know, and they come in and they're like, where's your bathrooms at? It's outside at the end of the building. It's outside? I'm like, no, it's inside, but it's not. You can't get there from here. You have to go outside and walk around the building. It's so funny because they think I've been asked a million times, is it an outhouse? And they just think that we're freaking hicks up here or something, you know. Oh my God. It makes you laugh so hard though, because they just, you know,
It's a whole
they got it so good.
a whole different type of life, you know.
Yeah.
From,
Oh, people used to tease me like that when I first moved here. You know, we went to the park and I said, "Is there any bathrooms around here?" No, you just got to keep on walking, and you get into the woods over there, and you squat down, take piss right there. You know. So I'm like, okay. I start walking. George is like, "Don't tell her that. The bathroom's over there." You know, but they tease you. If you don't know any better, they tease you.
Well, you've been there long enough where
Oh yeah.
you don't fall for that no more.
Not no more. Too funny though.
Fish and Pickin says, serious question, does anyone use a squatty potty and does it help?
Jason does, and so does Dusty.
Yeah. I've heard
and Jason uses a squatty potty?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that it does make a difference. I've actually been thinking about getting one for myself.
Yeah. I actually want one too. I'm pretty regular as it is, as long as I eat my bananas and stuff. But I think that would be like healthy.
Can't hurt.
I want to shit some unicorn ice cream.
Sally, you did not go there.
Have you seen that commercial?
No, I don't want to see it.
It is this English guy talking about, it's a commercial for the squatty potty. It's a unicorn sitting on a toilet with the squatty potty, and whenever it's going on, it's like a swirly ice cream. And he's putting it on a cone.
Oh my God.
And but then it shows, it gives an example, like if he's not on the squatty potty, then there's a kink in your rectum or whatever that kinks it and will let it come out. So it's funny. Look it up on YouTube. There's a funny commercial.
I don't want to see that shit.
It is so funny. It's not gross. It's a unicorn making swirl ice cream.
Because we all know unicorns poop rainbows.
Yeah, with rainbows. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could use stack books, but they say that the height matters. Like,
Stacked books.
yeah, like to put your feet on. But I think it's more different than that. It's like how you sit too, and that's where the kink is at or whatever.
Hmm.
All new for the show, kinky unicorn rectum.
Oh my God.
It's a hilarious commercial.
I'll have to watch it. I'll have to put that on my list of things to watch.
Hmm.
The
Super funny.
unicorn. The unicorn rainbow.
Just look up Squatty Potty.
Okay.
It gives an example or whatever of how it helps you
Okay.
health wise.
Yeah.
And I have a son that I told him that he needs one because he always has problems like that. So I think it would be really good for him. He thinks he's all healthy and everything, but he does have some issues.
Yeah.
Just because he weighs 115 pounds.
Yeah. Soaking wet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a few more things. I would say, well, besides the halters, I counted those yesterday's, and it was what did you happy? Sellers and shitters.
Good
Thanks
job,
so much, Todd.
Good job.
Oh my gosh. No, but I got all those halters. I got there's 15 halters, horse halters.
Wow.
And so I think Tara was saying that I probably should lot them together maybe.
Yeah.
So I'll see what happens.
Cool. Good morning, Hank Allen Cash.
Morning.
You're not late. You're just on time.
Wacky Wiener Wednesday. I left out the wiener
Mm-hmm.
of the title. I just put Wacky Wednesday. I didn't want to. I just kind of wanted to see how the show went. I didn't want to predispose.
Now you have to change it.
I know.
To 165 Wacky Wiener Wednesdays selling shitters. That would be great. You're gonna buy poopery too.
Oh my gosh. Actually, when I was at Walmart the other day, I seen that they had a different. It was like a knockoff of the poopery.
Yeah. I wonder if it works the same though, because poopery is supposed to be. It's supposed to, do a certain thing. It's supposed to once you poop, it's supposed to lock over the water.
Yeah. Why are we talking
Is
about
poopery?
I don't know. It's fishing and Pickens thing.
Hey, my daughter uses poopery and she said it works good.
I've never used it.
Yeah, me neither. It just, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
I don't know. He's probably off working or something.
Who dat?
Jim Bennett with all this poop talk.
You'd think, with all this poop talk, there'd be more people.
I know.
Jason,
what's up with that?
And Eric and
Dusty, Crop Hopper.
Yeah, you'd think that that would drive them in, but I guess not. Let's see what else we got to talk
I would
about.
just think the plastic one would do good fishing and picking. I'm not sure about the wooden ones, just like Hank says.
Oh my gosh.
That's too funny.
Now I gotta look up all that stuff.
Mhm. Yes, you do.
So Sally said she's going to be listing today, and Sally wants to have a holy. Sally wants to have a what do you call it? A challenge. Challenge.
Wait.
What kind of a challenge? Mud
To the
wrestling
death. To the death.
to the death? Wow, that's pretty harsh.
Yeah, I want to have a listing challenge tomorrow because I have some stuff I got to get done today. I mean, besides listing, but you know,
Sleep.
it's
You gotta
always
sleep.
hard. Well, yeah, sometime, but I need to, you know, like get my dogs a bath and I gotta clean and stuff like that too. So, um,
Yeah, because it's your first day
yeah,
off, so now it's
yeah, for 7 days off.
day.
Yeah.
Catch up. So just plan on that. We'll do a. What do you want to do? A 4 or an 8 or a 24?
No, no.
We could do an
Um,
8.
how about a 6?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
what time do you want to start it?
I could start it right after the show.
Okay. I'm sorry. Got the yawnies. Okay. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So 10 to 3, my time. So it'd be 11 to 4 your time, or Eastern. Yay! Yeah, 6 hour will work. That'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow, right after the show. Yeah, we're gonna have a listing challenge. 6 hours Eastern. It'll be 11 to 4. My time, Central Time, it'll be 10 to 3. And California time, I don't know what that'll be. It'll be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 8 to 2. So, yeah, we need a. That is weird, Hank Allen Cash. Makes no sense. Phone says I have 4G that won't work except for chat. Sometimes I have to turn mine off.
That happens to me a lot. It pisses me off. Because you know you pay $400 or $500 a month for these damn phones and they don't work.
Yep.
Like today, I got feedback I can't get rid of.
No, it's not. No, Larry. It's 10 or actually it'd be 11. It would be 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 11 to 5. That works, whatever. Beth says, Jesus, Nikki, $400 or $500 a month. Sometimes, you know, when you
I pay $400 a month for 4 phones.
yeah, when you have several lines on there, it adds up, definitely.
Yeah.
I think we're actually, Margot said it would have been a good day today. I have no kids, no grandbabies. I plan on getting a lot of work done. Actually, we were thinking about opening up the chat, or opening up, not really a challenge, but maybe just have like a working hangout after the show. And y'all could come in if you want, or not. But so there's no chat. So you either come in or you don't. One of the two.
Yeah.
Boys are back to school. I know that is such a relief when you get back to when the kids get back to school and things get normal, and it's like a holiday for you, for the parents.
Mhm.
You know.
I never liked when my kids went back to school.
No.
No, I like my kids.
Well, I mean, I
Well,
like my kids too, but during the summertime they were just together so much that they were like sick of each other.
Mhm.
And I was just ready for them to get back to school, so they kind of, you know, they did their own thing. Grandma Magic Classes says,
Yeah, everybody.
she's in for tomorrow. She's in for tomorrow. Done driving Grandpa to work every day.
Oh, good.
Yay! That's good.
Yeah, when my kids went back to school, I hated it because then it was back to schedules. You know, in the summertime, we could just go to bed whenever we wanted. Supper could be whenever we wanted. The kids didn't have to bathe that night or early in the morning, so going to work was easier.
Yeah. It's a little more lax.
Yeah, but it's kind of good for kids to have a schedule.
Well, that's true.
Because then they, you know, I don't know. I think it builds security. And it's been known to build security.
Yeah.
And my kids, they always behaved better if they had that schedule.
That structured schedule where, you know, even though it's summer vacation or Christmas vacation or whatever, you're still going to do things like you always do, you know. I think that kind of, you know, instills that work ethic too.
Oh, yeah.
I always worked outside of the home, so maybe that's why, because I always had a little break during the day for my kids. But I don't know. I just always enjoyed my kids' company. I hated when they went back to school. I kind of got lonely.
Well, I enjoy my kids' company too, but it was like, you know, when they're home all day and they get used to that, and then they get used to not doing anything, you know, besides playing games, or, you know, can't get them doing anything.
It's either sleep or play games.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But now I don't have any kids in the house, and I love it. Granted, I love my children, and I love spending time with my children, but I really like not having kids at home right now.
Yeah.
I bet you do.
Because I don't have any schedule now. I can do whatever the hell I want, when I want, and for as long as I want.
Yeah.
As long as Gary's here to take the dogs out, I don't have to come home.
Right.
Not that I do that, but I can if I want.
Mm.
You know?
Absolutely.
Well, both
or I
my
just
boys
bring the
still live
damn
with
dogs
me.
with me, and I can stay out as late as I want, as long as I got the dogs with me.
Yeah. both my kids still live here. They moved out for a short period of time, but they knew that it was, you know, easier for me if I was to have them here instead of, you know, trying to get a roommate or something, you know. So rent's $500 here, and you know, it's kind of hard to pull all that together and everything by yourself. So they're helping me and being able to do their own thing too. So I don't set like rules for them or anything like that. They're adults, so they basically do what they want. You can get Wi-Fi in your truck, Hank? That sounds fun.
I know the other day with AT&T, we were in town and neither me or my husband could get service on our phones to even call anybody. I was
Wow.
so pissed. Somebody said that they're building a new tower or something, but I mean, it's been all summer. It's been horrible service. I don't know why, but it's just pissing me off because, you know, like I said, I pay a considerable amount every month for my phones, and
Yeah.
you should be able to use them. And I should be able to be on this damn show without feedback too.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I have a track phone and it's I mean, it's a, what is it called? It's a ZTE. I think it's a, I can't remember what it's, I think it's a Motorola or something like that, ZTE. And it gets service like pretty much everywhere. I don't hardly have any problems with this phone. Grandma Sprinkle says I have a ZTE too. Yeah, that's, I mean, I think it would be good in some aspects to have wireless or Wi-Fi in your vehicle, but if you have it at home, you know, you really, I mean, it depends on how long you are in your vehicle a day, you know. Yep, knock on that wood. Yeah,
I am so tired.
Hey, Nikki, do you get a lot of tourism up there?
Yeah.
Well, because here, what happens with us is, and I know people with AT&T complained about it, is you get so many people from downstate up here that get on that using that system that then they don't get very good service. And like on the weekends here lately, like Jill, he uses his smartphone to pick parts out of these part totes we got. And he goes, "Oh my God, I don't get any reception." Well, it'll be like Thursday, Friday, and then our phone works really bad over the weekend because we're getting like more tourists up here again.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, and I know somebody from down below that had AT&T. They called and they said, "Well, it's just because you have so many people up in the area right now that are on AT&T that it's just kind of like crashing the system, or you don't get very good service."
Yeah. System crashers.
Yeah, I never have a problem with that, and we have a lot of tourism up here too.
Yeah, I'm like you, Sally. Actually, we got the track phones too. We used to pay big cell phone bills and to piss Jim off, and we just kind of went through a thing where we decided, hey, we're just not going to have this much out in bills, and we both have track phones, and that's what we just deal with. We just buy the minutes, and actually, our phone bills have went way down. I mean, just call and yak on the phone and stuff. I mean, for the year. I mean, how much do you think we pay a year in phone bills? I mean,
Christ. Well, I pay.
I don't think more than $300.
My smartphone costs me about $10 a month.
Yeah.
It costs me. I gotta update it every 2 months, and it's $20. Oh no, it costs me $20 a month because it's 40.
Yeah.
So for $20 a month, I've got a little. Oh, it ain't even in here. Those, it's not a big screen or nothing. It does. I can check my PayPal account, and it costs me $20 a month. And I get like 1,500 when I buy the minutes. It's like 1,500 minutes. Well, I just don't talk on a cell phone that much. But I do not have, and it is limited. I think I get 750 megabytes of data. Or 750. Yeah, that's right. I think it's megabytes. I think it's 750 megabytes. But for just checking my email or whatever, I don't stream videos or anything like that unless I'm in the house, because then I can switch it to Wi-Fi. And then it does it off our Wi-Fi system. It doesn't burn minutes off the thing. So
yeah, we don't like Instagram or Facebook.
But if it's like Nikki's got, where she's using it for actual internet, you couldn't do it for that. You still have to have an internet source.
Right. Well, I mean, whenever I go leave the house, because I have Wi-Fi in my house, but if I leave the house, I don't turn my data on to where like Facebook is always popping up or anything like that. I don't leave it on. I just, if I need to look something up or, I'm something, for the business or something like that, then I'll turn my data on and use it.
Yeah.
I keep it at a minimum, and I think mine's at 150 megabytes too per month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, and we probably are old fashioned. I mean, because we don't do a lot of stuff like, like I said, like Twitter or Instagram or all that stuff. I mean, and I guess for us, do I need to know every time somebody puts a GIF up on Facebook or something? I just can look that up when I get home on my desktop, I don't need to be at the grocery store like, oh, wow, look at this GIF somebody just posted. Or something.
Here's it's a track phone.
Oh, my camera's off because I'm brushing my hair. I'll turn it on. I just took a shower.
It's a track phone. It's little and it's not big. So it doesn't have a huge screen. But I gotta re-up it on the 10th of next month, which is coming up. It's like not many, 15 days from now or whatever. But I still have when I update it, I'm gonna get 750 megabytes of data, 171 remaining, and I use it to go pick parts and stuff. That it's on the internet then. And then I still have 2,066 minutes remaining because I think I get 1,000 minutes everything, and I don't use them. And then I have 500 or 5,244 texts left. So I mean, at that $20 a month, this easily covers all the stuff I need to do for like if I'm in Goodwill and I need a phone to check and see if something's a good deal, I can use it for that. Yeah, it's about the same thing. Very similar.
Yeah, yeah. ZTE, it looks. Just like anybody's, anybody else's phone.
This one's a track phone.
Yeah,
the
this is too.
Their carrier's track phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I bought it on clearance. It was a $100 phone, and they had on clearance at Shopko for $19.99. I bought it, plugged in a data card or whatever. You got to buy a memory card if you want to store pictures or anything on it.
Right.
And activate it and good to go. It's been costing me. I got to pay $40 every 2 months. Can't beat it. I mean, it's cheaper than old landline bills used to be when I was a kid. I mean, I think my parents were paying more for phone than I do. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it pisses me off because I'm on my new $600 tablet, and with unlimited internet, and I pay $400 a month for my phones and my tablets to be on internet or to be on service, and they slow me down, and now I got feedback. I mean, the Samsung Galaxy, and that's a $500 phone. So you expect to have good service.
Well, I understand you need it because you can't get internet at your house. We were at a point at that time where it's like, why are we paying $300-400 for me and him to have cell phones? Where that's like having a car payment. I mean, so we just went with something a cheaper option just because it wasn't that important to us, to have like really nice phones.
Yeah, Nikki, those numbers that you were throwing out, it made all the blood rush from my head to my legs. I almost fell over.
I know. Well, that's like my husband. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna get the new Samsung Galaxy Note 8 when it comes out." I said, "I just bought this damn tablet and I paid cash for it." I said, "No, I'm not gonna buy that new phone."
Hey, you gotta slow your roll, baby.
I was like, "No, I can't justify that. My phone works fine. If my phone was broken, I could see, but."
I'm a notorious cheapskate. I mean, if there's a cheaper way to do something, I will figure it out. I'm like a cockroach living on the back of a rat. I'm gonna find the cheapest, least expensive way to do everything.
Yeah, and there's so many cheaper plans right now. Like you don't even have to be on a plan. You could just do a prepaid, $40 a month usually. I hear people paying like 80, 90, 120 bucks a month for one phone. Well, you can pay, I mean, I guess the max for Boost is 75, or it was whenever I was with them. But whenever I was with Boost, $75, and that gets you unlimited everything. Unlimited talks, unlimited text, unlimited data. So I mean, what else do you need if you have unlimited everything?
Yeah.
And why would you pay more than that? Except, if you're on a phone that is so expensive or whatever that you can't pay for outright, $100 or $200. I only paid like $89 for my phone or something whenever I was with them.
I'd rather buy other stuff with that $400 or $500 a month than have a cell phone. But that's me,
Or if you have to, like
I'm frugal.
Nikki has to.
I'm frugal in everything else in my life, except for my phone.
Yeah.
I gotta have my phone. I like my unlimited internet and stuff. But like I said, I don't have Wi-Fi here at the house, so I have to have it. But I like to be able to if it's raining out when I'm camping, I like to be able to sit in the camper and be able to watch a movie or something if it's raining or.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's always, well, look this up for me because I don't have unlimited, Yeah. And it's like I wouldn't want to have to do that. I like to be able to look stuff up at that moment. For frog farts, I want to be able to look it up. So like I said, I'm frugal in everything else in my life, but I like to pay up for my phone.
I agree with you because you only live once. I got horses. I mean, you could say, hey, you shouldn't have the expensive horses. So if it's something that you're into, then do it. It was just at the point of where we were at in life, we were like, we could do some other stuff with this money than be paying for stupid cell phones. And in the case for me and Jim, we're paying for cell phones so other people can call us to ask us to help them with stuff. It's like, oh, can you come and do this for me? Can you come and do that for me? Not that I don't want to sound shitty, like I don't mind helping people. It's like, do you know I'm trying to work? Do you understand I'm trying to make money? I can't.
I mind. I got shit to do.
Yeah, I got. I don't want to be in the middle of the day doing some stupid thing for you. Anyway, so we just made it harder to get a hold of us, and people left us alone.
A guy asked me a question.
Feedback any better? No.
This sounds pretty good. I don't hear feedback. But a guy asked me a question on shipping a lawnmower. Oh, no, I do hear an echo. Anyway, he goes, do you have some friends that could help load it? Or could help make arrangements for the shipping? I thought to myself, no, I don't have any friends around here because I don't ever go anywhere. All we do is stay home and lift stuff in pack boxes. So no, I'm not in the community. I don't go out and talk to people or anything. The only time I go out, I know the people at the post office. That's about it.
You're a lonely eBay seller.
Yeah. Not really. It don't bother me at all. I love it this way.
Yeah, I live in a very, small town, And although there's, people find out that I live in this town and they're like, oh, do you know such and such? Or do you, the people that live down the road from you, do you know them? They're really nice people. I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't know anybody. I mean, I know a couple of my neighbors, but that's it. I just don't get outside. I don't mingle. I don't go to functions. I just work.
I caught most of my neighbors digging through my stuff. So now I'm not friends with most of my neighbors. I'm not even friends with my damn neighbors because I kicked them all off the property. I got to let Tara pack her thing.
We'll go to town and like people that go to town and like, oh, is that me? Oh, the people that were like on the fire department with Jim, they'll be like, oh my God, we didn't even know you still lived here. We thought you moved.
Pretty crazy. I need to check these files.
Oh, and auction people, auctioneers know.
Oh yeah, auction people know.
The auctioneers.
Tara, what were you saying about those horse halters?
Oh, when I watched your video, it looks like they're nylon halters. Now, I will say they're not really worth anything, but I would try to lot them together. I think you said you got like 15. Maybe like split them in half and try to lot them together. The bad thing about something like that is, I mean, they're kind of like used dog collars. You wouldn't go and say, oh, unless they were like designer but they're just very plain nylon halters. Just don't. People usually just go buy a new halter, or if they were leather halters, you could have a little more value there. But I don't think you're gonna do real great on them. But anyway, I mean, I'd probably lot them together, and you might get something like a horse dealer or something like that, where they sell a lot of horses and they put like the junker halters on when they sell the horse. I mean, then you might knock it off there. But
okay.
Your way to let her down easy, Tara. Yeah, you really were gentle there.
But I will say this: if you do that again, where you see horse tack, just Facebook message me and I'll tell you if it's worth doing or not. If it was me, would I have bought them? No. Just because they're just not, they're going to probably take a while to sell and you're not really going to get a lot of money for them. Now, they're easy to ship because they won't break. So that's cool.
Right. Well, I was thinking, probably I was going to list them for $10 a piece.
Yeah, the problem with that is brand new ones on eBay are 17 to 20. So that's the only reason why I would maybe lot them together. But try it and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a whirl.
Why is my printer not working, Jim? Oh, it's got a red light.
Just open up that door and close it.
This one?
Yeah. Well, further up. Yeah, you did it. You're good. It's resetting. Just shut it. And just give it a second. You may have to help.
What if I push this button?
Don't do anything.
I am Groot.
There you go. Just wait.
I am Groot.
Patience is the best word in tackle. Actually, it's confidence is the best word in tackle box. Patience is good. Pull it out.
This thing smells like it's like turning.
It's the wax. It's the wax on the label.
I print it.
It's Nikki's fault for getting us hooked on these labels. Eller's making a call.
No, she's on the advantage phone.
She's calling Batman.
Oh.
Or no, she's calling Commissioner Gordon. Or Batman, Commissioner Gordon on the red phone.
Yeah. Wasn't it under like a glass jar? It was like
no, I think it was Shakespeare's head. Or no, that was a secret button to get in the back came. You flipped open Shakespeare, did a bust of Shakespeare. You flipped his neck back.
I thought it was like under like
you're right. I think there's like glass.
Like a for a case.
Or like an anniversary clock. Yeah.
I think it's for a case. It had like a handle on the top. That's so queer.
We got
making calls there, Valerie?
She called her own cell phone, I think. Well, she must have a landline set up.
Is my connection better?
Yeah, you sound good, Nikki. The red phone has the same ringer as a regular phone. The red phone has a sexy girlfriend ringer too.
Is there still feedback?
No, you sound better now.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Your connection sounds good, but you sound like you're gonna fall asleep.
So my phone works.
Awesome.
Everybody saw it.
I'm surprised you still have a landline.
Yeah.
I can't test if he doesn't have one.
I have to have a landline in order to get internet.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the I don't have cable, but I have the internet.
Ah.
You know, they gotta find some way to sock it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good.
Oh, we had a repairman come and fix our internet because there's something wrong with our cable lines. But he's watching us. He was watching our TV, and I didn't really think of it at the time. But I bet you he was wondering why, because we don't have cable TV.
Yeah.
We had cable TV.
Yeah, we have Charter, and they're always trying to sell us on TV. And then Jim will like slip. He goes, "Well, we get our direct TV for free." And then they're like, "Well, how can you do that?" And he goes, "Why the hell do I have to explain to you how I do that?"
Hey, because we're crime, and crime don't pay.
Because they always see you because they know you're on the internet. They see the DirecTV dish, so they're like, "Well, we could make you so much better deal than DirecTV, not for free. You can't."
Yeah, that's true.
I hope Sally can get that starter too.
Yeah. Hopefully, you know, with kind of knowing, you know, from that Rock Auto, that she should be able to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, she should be able to get that starter and hopefully get that fixed.
When I was in high school, I had a Chevy Nova, and when you said rock, it made me think of it because I had the flywheel is, you know, the tooth flywheel that the starter engages to spin the motor, got a rock in it, and I didn't know that. It was a little piece of rotten granite got stuck in one of the teeth. So I get a new starter, it would break. Get another starter, broke that starter, and I couldn't figure out why they kept cracking. And then finally, when I'm taking one out and installing it, I see this rock in there. And what would happen was when the gear came around to where the rock was, it would push the starter out and crack the body of the starter. It's funny. When you said rock, I thought, oh my God, Sally had the rock in the starter like I did.
My husband earlier was wondering if he shimmed the starter, if whoever put that starter in shimmed the starter, because he's never heard of a broken tooth. And he thought maybe somebody didn't shim the starter. So,
well, I'm just wondering if maybe that had something to do with like all the fluids and everything, you know, because there was fluid everywhere, and it was a gas and water and everything was in the engine. It was just kind of spewing everywhere. So I'm just wondering if maybe something locked up and that's what broke the tooth. Maybe.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
The starter didn't disengage like sometimes our Chevy does. We have to like play with the key because the starter wants to keep going.
But he told me not to say anything because he didn't want to offend anybody.
Oh boy.
I want to say something just in case, you know, what if they don't know.
How would that offend everybody? Like, damn you for saying somebody might have shimmed that starter.
No, likely what happens is they don't shim the starter. That's usually what happens.
Well, guys have a code. They don't like other guys fixing their shit or telling them how to do stuff or, you know.
Yep. Yeah, but we'll see if we can't get that for her and get it going. And
you get that black sweatshirt that's hanging above your head? Black sweatshirt.
easy to get a truck before it gets too much colder.
Mm-hmm.
Or get her.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Up here in the north, you know,
truck.
after Labor Day, we can have snowballs hitting us in the ass anytime, you know.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's right. And it wouldn't be any fun riding a bike in the snow.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Or really cold weather. I mean, it can, after Labor Day, frost can come, you know.
Yeah.
Should have to get a snowmobile.
Or get one of those lawnmowers though with the canopy.
We were down in Albany, Minnesota, which is down by St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even more south than the cities. Anyways, side of the state. And we were there September, I think it was around the 12th of September, somewhere around in there. And that's when the Albany Steam Show is, and Pioneer Days in Albany, Minnesota. And we were camping in a tent. We woke up the next morning and there was frost on the ground. We froze our asses off that night because we brought Mr. Heaters with us, but they stopped working in the middle of the night. We woke up freezing our asses off. There was frost fully all over the ground. It wasn't just a little bit either. I mean, the whole ground was covered with frost. So that's what I say. She could have frost hit her anytime and be free. And she's running around on a bike in the middle of the night. Yeah. I want her to get her.
I went to a horse show in Green Bay. I was showing jumpers, and it was the last week of September, or the first week of October. And we had this huge cold streak come through, but you know, like those super big wet snowflakes, that's what it was doing. Because I showed in the jumper class with a snowmobile jacket on, a winter snowmobile jacket on. I'm jumping around. I'm like, this is insane.
It's gonna get cold out.
What's her rule on horses where she lives?
I don't know.
Of course, you'd have to leave it tied up
I think
outside.
she lives in town.
While you're at work, you'd have to go out and take a grain break. You go grain your horse while you're at work.
It'd be more expensive to buy a horse than it would a starter.
Well, in the long run, they're more expensive to take care of.
Horses are like airplanes. An airplane, if you buy a used airplane, they're really not that expensive. Actually, you can find airplanes that are quite reasonable. The problem is the upkeep, the hangar, the pilot's license, the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I had horses when you met me. I warned you. I said to him, I said, don't stay with me if you don't like horses. I'll never. If you make me choose between you and keeping horses, I'll keep the horses.
Yes, I remember.
You kept sticking around, so it's your own damn fault.
No, but that, the auction was a good experience. But I probably should have done a lot more research and on things.
If you're
see how things sold
with the online auctions, you can do a lot more research. But when you're at the regular auctions, live auctions, you sometimes can't do all that research.
Right.
So
that's a good way to jump in though and get your feet wet doing it. You know what I mean? You get better over time. We don't all come out of the box just like, oh, well, I know everything about what's collectible and what sells. I mean, everybody has trial and errors and makes some mistakes.
And if you make a mistake at an auction, like you can make a mistake at a thrift sale or, you know, like, or one of these, I don't know, like these online, you can make a mistake and get burned. But usually those live auctions, you make a mistake, worst case, you're not going to make as much as you thought. That's worst case. You're never going to, this stuff is always worth more than you paid for, with very few exceptions. You know, it's always, you always pay less than you would expect to pay elsewhere. So you can always bail yourself out.
Right. You're not gonna be all in or all in.
Auction mistakes are very forgiving.
Yeah.
Or you'll find some other item that came in a box that will bail you out or whatever.
Yeah. Something that you haven't even looked at it yet. You haven't looked it up yet. You didn't think much of it. Those swanky swig glasses we made fun of.
Oh yeah, in one of our videos, I make fun of them. These they're cactus swanky swig glasses. I'm like, well, they don't do as good as they used to, but I paid $1 for. I sold them for $80.
Yeah, and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, look at these stupid cactus glasses. Well, they're advertising for some gas station. You would go in some gas station that's not around anymore, company, and they would give you these glasses as a premium. If you got like a fill up of gas, they'd give you one of these glasses. Well, they're the gasoline and oil people are collecting them.
Huh.
So you never know.
Interesting.
But I mean, that's commonplace with auctions. I think you find that very often you get that. So
yeah.
That's why I love auctions. They're very forgiving.
And if you don't know what a swanky swig is, just look it up on eBay. You'll find them. Sort of 1950s drinkware.
They're like
Tom Collins size?
Tom Collins or a gin and tonic. A lot of people drink gin and tonic with those frosted.
Yeah.
It's a tall, frosted glass.
And it'll have like a picture on it or whatever. And then they'll have other ones like Libby made them, where maybe they had like red flowers on them or something like that. They come with a picture, you know.
Interesting.
So if you're swanky and you like to swig. Oh my God, Mabel is sleeping in between the two labs. The two labs are butt to butt, and Mabel is right between the two butts. How bad is packing today?
I don't know why. Medium.
I want to go to the courthouse and get stuff.
Oh, okay.
Pick up my probation papers.
Oh, God.
Y'all miss my cha-ching. Get it?
Oh, man. What were you on mute?
Get it.
You're not supposed to do that, Sally.
Belated, get it.
I know.
Don't stop. Get it. Get it. That's probably not the way it actually goes, but.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Not quite the rapper.
Yeah. I got
those were in my older days.
I got something for days, and you got something for weeks.
Is it a poly mailer? It'd be okay if I wrapped it in bubble wrap?
Yeah, if you wrap it in bubble wrap. Who's Ice Cube?
I never listened to Ice Cube.
I remember that one.
I listened to Eminem.
I'm not into the M&Ms. I don't like chains or whips.
I don't like the different colors. I'm kidding. I'm so kidding.
Oh my.
I don't like.
Oh my God.
I don't like the green ones because I lose control.
We sold one of those big M&M store dispensers.
It was a green one.
It was a green. Is a green one a girl?
I don't know, but the green one's
I
supposed to
think
make
she
you
might
horny.
be. Anyway, yeah, it was a big dispenser that came out of a store.
Oh my God. Yeah, and I had it in order to ship it. I mean, you got those dimension limits, and it's got like one arm up, one arm down, with a glove with a white hand, so it's taking up a bunch of space. I had to disassemble the whole thing and put like the arms and legs inside the M&M body. And I'm like, when they're never gonna be able to put this some bitch together. I'm not sure I can put it together. I took it apart, and I work on stuff all the time. So I shipped it.
They're gonna be like, this bitch ain't got no arms.
Went to like Oregon or Washington.
Yeah, they got it. I mean, glowing feedback, awesome seller, great pack job. I'm like, wow, they must. It had rollers on it had like a steel plate bottom, but it was for like a gas station or something where you'd have a bunch of M&Ms inside it.
Huh.
So it's like it was a big display piece. But
I think we got $300 for it.
Yeah.
I bought it at an auction for like 20, real cheap, and then sold it for 300.
And it was so big, I had like no choice. It went the box. If I would have left it full size, the box was actually beyond the dimensions they allowed me to ship for any price.
Do I have feedback?
No.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all positive.
All good.
Awesome seller, 5 stars.
There you go.
All right.
We'll buy from again.
Yeah. Would recommend to friends.
Hi, Dusty.
What y'all
Good morning, Dusty.
say about me?
It's Dusty.
Did you sleep late?
What is he, Dusty Crop Doppler?
Crop duster? Crop duster.
Look at Sally always calls him Dusty Crop Hopper.
He's a crab happer.
Crowding.
Dusty crab. Yeah.
Crop Doppler.
Dusty Crop.
It's like, what the hell is going on here? I just woke up.
Did you sleep?
I couldn't sleep, so I slept on the. I came up and got on the couch. That's where I slept. Go to sleep watching Food Truck Wars or something. That was kind of interesting.
Who would have thunk?
I watched all the seasons of some fishing show the other day on Netflix. I kept falling asleep and on and off.
I couldn't sleep last night, so I watched Clash of the Titans. It was on like CBS
I
or
love
something. It was the new one, not the old one. But I like the old one too.
I do too.
I am watching Breaking Bad.
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
love that. That was a good show.
I love Breaking Bad.
I had never watched it before. I had tried and I just couldn't get into it. And then I turned it on the other day and I'm just kind of
You'll love it.
Watching it.
You'll love it once it gets really interesting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I did not like the
watching
premise. I wouldn't watch it because I didn't like the premise of a high school teacher selling drugs. I'm like, what the kind of messed up premise is this? I don't like it. And I tried to watch the first episode, and then just like, I don't know, probably 6 months ago, I watched it on Netflix, and I got it. I'm like, okay, I get it now. And because I'm like, how can they have this many a 5-star rating and everybody like it if it's that bad? And it was awesome. Keep watching. It's great. It gets better and better.
Yeah.
I know.
I was gonna say, Jem, you just have to wait until you get it.
I think maybe because it's Netflix, you can binge watch it. It helps you get into the storyline. I think when you tried to watch on AMC, you gotta wait a week in between. It gets a little harder to get into it.
Well, and you understand why he's put into this position. It's like a situation where he's constantly put into these bad situations where he has to do something even worse or whatever. But the way they do it, you understand. You can relate with why he had to do it.
Right.
Yeah, he's just trying to be a responsible parent and husband. That's this whole reasoning for everything.
It's could have sold on eBay. We're responsible parents and spouses because we sell on eBay. We don't sell meth.
But it kind
Dusty,
of, sorry, it kind of lets you
Go ahead.
know, as far as, you know, what would you go for? What would you do to be able to provide for your family and for your, you know, for yourself, you know, for the just the basics? What extent would you go to?
Dusty, Fishman Pickens wants to know about Squatty Potty.
They're awesome.
Okay, that's good to know.
He also wanted to know wood or plastic.
Wood or plastic?
Wood.
Oh,
They make
I mean,
a wood squatty potty.
You can make your own out of wood, I suppose, but I don't know the squatty potty. All it is a stool, because the theory, which is true, if you look at the alignment of your bowels and everything else, that when you sit, like if you sit like this, and here's your knees, and you're on the, where's my thing, you're on the toilet. If you sit with your feet up like that, that your bowels more correctly align to evacuate.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. We have the travel one because Tristan got it back in the day before we'd ever really tried any of it. It's been handy to take places, but if I had to do it over again for here at the house, I probably would have the more solid one. It's bigger, yeah. They do have a 2-pack of them, though. Was it Costco, babe? Costco has a 2-pack of, and I don't know if they're Squatty Potty brand. Were they? He said they were. Let's see. I really can't believe I'm searching potty. Squatty Potty 2-pack. Member only item. Hold on, let me sign in. $29.99 is the website price. I think it was about the same in the store. Actually, they'll ship it to you for $4.99.
Is this a stool you put by your toilet?
Yeah, I'll take 'em.
It sounds really weird. Everybody we know that we've talked into getting one or that has one goes, "What the hell? No, weird. What? And then once they got one, they're like, "Oh my god, that's amazing."
Couldn't you just use?
It's kind of like watching Breaking Bad. You're like, why would I want to do it? And then you watch it and you're like, oh my god, it's awesome.
Couldn't you just use like a phone book? Or, well, I guess they don't have thick phone books anymore. But I mean, couldn't you just use like a footstool or something in front of your toilet?
Yeah, I mean, in theory, you could use it. You could turn the trash can on its side and stick your feet and lay it down and stick your feet.
Put stirrups on it.
To have a white stool that actually kind of fits around your toilet bowl and pushes in out of the way when not in use, that looks a little more like it belongs there, rather than a stack of 2 stacks of phone books in your bathroom.
Yeah. it probably washes easier than the phone books.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're going to miss. I mean, it happens. Let's face it. Because when you're doing the standy potty, you know, sometimes you miss.
The standy.
Yeah, 7 or 9 inch. I have no idea. It doesn't.
I'm confused. Do you sit on this thing?
If you're missing while you're taking a poop, we're gonna have to talk.
No, well, you're not always taking a poop. Sometimes you're doing the other. Sometimes it's number one only.
Oh, Tristan said it depends on how high your toilet is. If you have one of those really, really high ones, then you probably need the 9. The regular standard one, the one on Costco, is a 7 inch.
Oh.
Bishop Pickett says the Playboy books kept sticking to my feet.
So a squatty potty is just a thing you put your feet on. You don't actually poop in it.
No.
Look.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I guess you could. Hold on. Here's one.
Nikki shit the squatty potty.
Wow.
Yeah, Nikki, don't poop in the bidet either.
Okay, Nikki, it looks like this. This is all it is, and then it pushes in. This is a big shout out to Costco here for the free advertising. And then it pushes in around your bowl, your toilet bowl, and you put your feet on it, and it gets your see how your your knees are up at a higher. That helps you. That's a natural position. Here you go. Best way to explain it. If you think about it, people for hundreds and thousands and whatever, depends on what creation theory you believe in, but people have been squatting in the woods for years. That's the way we were meant. Sit on a tree trunk, squat in the woods, whatever. Our bodies were never designed to sit with our thighs at a 90-degree angle to go to the bathroom. That makes sense. We're designed to do crap out of trees.
Oh, so I misunderstood. I thought it was something that you put on your toilet that you poop through, kind of like a riser seat or something.
Oh, gross.
That's what I thought a squatty potty was. I thought it was kind of like a riser seat or something. I didn't know. So I was thinking, okay, so now you're adding something that you can get poop on and then you have to clean. That's why I never thought about it.
If you were to be able to poop on this, then you probably have bigger issues.
If you shit the squatty potty, you missed the toilet.
If you miss the toilet with a number 2, then you probably need to get a lot of things.
Well, I never seen one before. I just heard you guys talking about squatty potty, so it's okay. It's a potty, so I thought it was a potty.
Haven't you ever seen the commercial with the rainbow, with the unicorn pooping rainbows and stuff?
No.
He's making those soft serve ice creams.
Yeah.
No, I never saw that.
Yeah, unicorns poop soft serve. The rainbow color.
Valerie was about to
Rainbow
throw up. I was telling her about it. She's like, I don't want to see that shit.
Well, go look it up on YouTube.
Here's my thing. People spend way too much time in the bathroom. If you get your system on a regular, like, I don't know, maybe it's coffee for you in the morning, whatever, you should get up. Your body should say, hey, I really have to go. You go in, you do it. You don't sit there. I mean, I have a buddy that sits, and I think his is more recreational, but he literally sits for like an hour. Like, they keep an extra iPad in their bathroom. Big shout out to you, Joe. And he's like, this is whole. I'm like, no. Your body will tell you when it's time to go. You get something like a squatty potty, go in. I mean, if you're having to push and strain and whatever, then you probably need a laxative or need to drink more water, or you have a medical condition, or just go.
Well,
get off and go.
Yeah. Another thing that they do say is that the longer that you sit on the toilet, the more possibilities you'll have hemorrhoids.
Yep. Well, I mean, that's what hemorrhoids are caused by, is by straining and everything else. So get up. I mean,
I don't have books in my bathroom. I go in there to do one thing and then I leave.
I mean, I take my phone, and I usually don't even need it. I go, that's it. I'm done. Whatever. And I'm not this And the second thing is, I don't understand people that go 3 or 4 times a day, or 2 or 3, or I mean, I guess maybe my system's just different. We're talking about number 2 here. So, I mean, I understand urinating several times throughout the day, but I get mine done and that's it, and it's over, and then it's the next day. Does it make sense?
I alternate between shredded wheat and Raisin Bran for breakfast. And I will tell you, you will go at least a couple times a day. But I mean, everything's smooth, straight, and normal. I mean, it's like
talk about this.
I will recommend those 2, but you got to do both. Not just the Raisin Bran, not just the shredded wheat. Alternate them, and man.
Well, my thing is why don't you just put a footstool in the bathroom?
Yeah, I said the same thing, Nikki.
Here's the deal. If you put a footstool in the bathroom, you're going to have to constantly be pushing it out of the way, because some people stand up. See? So if you have a footstool that's constantly in the way, but with the squatty potty, it shoves back in, and you can still stand there and do your number 1 business without it being in the way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, you could totally make one of that. You could take a freaking footstool and just cut a half moon shape out of it and make your own, in the same shape as your. This sounds like a gym. Jim's going to make you one today.
No, he's not going to make me a squatty.
No, but this reminds me of when old people have that carpeting, that shag carpeting thing around their toilets. It's it's just a collector for pee splash.
Yeah.
I like what the crazy card is. If you get up and have a pronounced ring on your rear end, then you're probably hanging out too long. If you have two little red marks on your knees from your elbows sitting like this, you're on the toilet too long. Oh my God. I mean, I guess I don't get it. I wait for my body to tell me, okay, I'm ready, and then I do it, and that's it. And occasionally 2 times a day, but normally just once, and it's out, it's gone, and I'm done, and until the next day. I guess that's called being regular. I don't know.
I have to say, I was having issues in that department where I was going way too much. And I started, because I never had problems with them issues ever in my life, but the last year I have. And I started eating yogurt every day, and now I don't have any issues like that anymore.
Well, any kind of, yogurt or probiotic or like the gym, doing fiber or whatever, but most of us, our diets are just so awful to begin with.
See what I mean, guys? You never know what you're going to get when you come to the show.
Well, this is real life. I mean, everybody's
telling, but it could be a little bit about your bowel movements and all that good stuff. So you never want to miss a show because you never know what you're going to miss.
How many thumbs down did we get for that one?
Well, this is, I mean, people say, oh, God, I don't want to hear about it. But these are issues that real people, no, seriously. These are issues that real people have that don't want to talk about it, and then they end up having problems or whatever. And, I mean, this is real life stuff. So everybody poops. Mm-hmm. So I say talk about it and figure it out. Because just as much as we can help each other with reselling, we can help each other poop too.
I was taught that pooping's a sin.
We are true friends.
News people.
Y'all are hilarious. That's right, fishing and picking. This shows everything we want to talk about in the workplace, but can't. This is our work. This is our water cooler.
No sexual harassment charges here.
Nope.
What is this crap? Why do I need a total? Why do I need a total now up next to manage orders awaiting shipment? Why do I need a dollar total of how many dollar I signed? Why does eBay change the stupidest things?
I don't know. It's dumb.
I know, but they don't fix the stupidest shit that they should be fixing.
Manage orders awaiting shipment. Results 1 through 8. I have 8 items to ship, and then it gives me a dollar total. Oh, well, that should get me more motivated because I made that much more money. I mean, what's the point in that? Huh. Maybe that's why it was all broken yesterday, because they were adding that one little handy feature.
Did you see what Hank said? These are groundbreaking issues that need to be discussed. Take a stand for people.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, I see there. They put that stupid total up there. I didn't even notice it this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm glad our money's hard at work.
Silverhair says, if you use a squatty potty and there is a fan on, is it more likely or less likely to hit the fan?
Yeah.
Oh, the soft toilet. Blackberry thistle teas that I hate those soft toilet seats. They're so gross and they split.
Oh, yeah, they're gross.
City. One thing I'm a firm believer in is when you move, if you move to a new house, an old house, or whatever, unless it's brand new construction, change toilet seat. They're like $10 at Walmart, and they're 2 bolts. Change out the toilet. Just get rid of the old one.
Yeah.
There's always 4 things every time I've ever moved. There's always 4 things I always bought brand new: toilet seat, shower curtain, broom, and mop. My husband was like, one time, he's like, why do you always buy a brand new mop and broom when we move? It's because I don't want to bring the old dirt with me.
I never had anybody leave one behind. But I don't. Oh, you're talking about leave. I got you. Take your own. Yeah, and they're cheap. I got you.
Well, you're not bringing your old dirt with you.
Sometimes when I'm at the gas station, I wish I had a new toilet seat, but oh well.
Jim wants to. You can tell Jim really wants to keep talking about poop this morning.
The only time
That's why
I
you
don't
offer.
I don't buy a brand new toilet seat every time I move into a place. Every time I've moved into a place, but if it's a soft toilet seat, yeah, I definitely would replace it.
Oh,
I don't
they're
like
all
the soft.
greasy.
And I don't, and the wood ones too. I don't like those because they look cool, but they always crack at the seam, and then the brass fittings get like, they tarnish bad, and I think it looks
You
shitty
just
then. They look
splinter-
nice when they're new, and then they start looking crappy.
You get a splinter in your dookie.
Literally.
Yeah, maybe.
Splinter in the booty.
No, then it pinches your hoo-ha.
I thought you were going to say pinches your nutters.
I never know where she's going with stuff when she starts talking.
Listen, Nikki, I'm not rubbing my hoo-ha on the toilet seat when I'm going to the bathroom. That shouldn't even be touching the toilet seat. That's supposed to be over the hole.
Oh my god.
You picture, I mean, if you're rubbing your hoo-ha on the toilet seat, you got a problem.
Honey, okay, stop. I'm talking, or help, I'm talking to
Now I'm going to go get a box.
Is Jim blushing over there?
Nikki said it. I'm just clarifying.
Nikki,
Wait a minute. Why is the title of this show? Okay, what did y'all talk about for the hour before I got here? Do I even know?
It
don't
was
wanna know.
at first. At first, it was it was Wacky Wednesday, and then I said, and then Hank says it's Wacky Wiener Wednesday, and she goes, "Oh, I forgot to put the wiener in there," and then and then Todd came in and said that I can't remember what Todd said, something about shippers and shitters. And so
Well, because we were
super
talking about how the people from the south that come up and ask where your bathroom is, and you say it's outside, and they're like, "Oh, outhouse." So that's where that shitters came from.
Yep.
It is really, really, really simple. You know, you don't like something, don't want to hear something, don't watch it. Rant over.
Yep.
It just
That was quick.
it just went downhill from there, Dusty. There was nothing we could do.
No, I got
kind of spiraled out of control. And then Fishing and Picking said a serious question, and he wanted to know about squatty potties because apparently he's in the market for one. So it was all, I mean, that's a legitimate topic.
No. I'm with you. I feel you. Yep.
And I don't know why anybody does this, but you should never flush the toilet while you're sitting on the toilet. You could end up with an infection.
It splashes you.
I know. My niece had to go in, and she had some sort of an infection in her rectum. And this was a long time ago. And I was like, "How do you get an infection in your rectum?" And she said the doctor said it was because I flushed while I'm sitting down. I'm like, "Why in the hell would you flush while you're sitting down?" Yeah, I know. I was like, "Why would you flush while you're sitting down? How stupid is that?"
Well, maybe she didn't have the seat down. Maybe the whole thing was wide enough where she got too close to the water.
Well, see, I like to look at it because that's what you can tell a lot about your health if you look at your poop.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your colon. I was like, well, I like the
I like to make sure everything's clean down there. So you got to look to make sure everything's clean. But I don't want to, I don't know how to explain it. Anyways,
yeah.
I'm just going to get off that subject. Sounds gross.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Brent, sorry.
Don't ever flush while you're sitting down.
Common sense. And don't put carpet around your toilet. Just wear slippers so your feet don't get cold. You don't need carpet around the base of your toilet.
Well, assuming you don't have major medical problems, I don't want to offend everybody that has major medical problems, and you get regular enough, you should only need to go one time a day. And get it done at your house where, yes, there's still going to be germs, but things are a little cleaner. I don't do public toilets. Number one only.
Come on.
If I got to go that bad, I'm headed to the house.
Yeah, but when you're driving straight through to Florida, it's a 23-hour drive. You're gonna have to go.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that would be unavoidable, but I mean, I'm gonna put 5 feet thick of toilet paper on the seat before I ever sit down.
I was just gonna say I line the toilet seat with toilet paper.
Do you ever see like those sumo wrestlers when they get ready to wrestle the other guy? They kind of squat down a little bit and they slap one hand on each knee. That's exactly what I do in the public restroom. It's number 2.
Do you grunt? Do you grunt like that?
No part of me touches any part of that, and I flush it with my foot.
Queen City Pickers, what kind of water pressure do you people have? My toilet doesn't splash water all over when you flush.
Maybe she's pooping in the bidet.
It's like those commercial, like the Walmart toilets, or where you flush it and it goes, and everybody, like in the entire restaurant, knows that you went number 2 because they heard a toilet, not a urinal.
Well, why wouldn't you stand up when you flush? I don't flush the toilet when I'm sitting down. I get away from it.
I think when the guy tells a girl, "Hey, I want to play in the other yard," you just tell him no.
Let's not talk about that.
Have you ever watched? I think it started out as like a 2020 special or 60 minutes, and I believe MythBusters actually did something on it. But have you ever watched the episode about what kind of germs are in your bathroom around your toothbrush?
No.
Of when you flush and things that little minute particles of stuff that go airborne and stuff. Yeah.
I try not to watch that stuff because it freaks me out.
There's fecal matter on your toothbrush as we speak.
My toothbrush isn't sitting out. Absolutely not. I don't even believe in those things where everybody puts their toothbrush in the same holder. Oh, hell no. I don't want my toothbrush touching somebody else's. We all have covers on our toothbrush.
You could turn your bidet into a toothbrush washer.
She sold it.
Oh, she sold
that.
it. Maybe that's what they were going to do with it.
Spit sink.
Oh boy.
My toothbrush is in a cover, safely packed away in the drawer. And when I go camping or something, my toothbrush has a cover. It also goes in a bag. I'm very particular about my toothbrush.
Yeah. Yeah. 11, 12, hang on. Like 6 more. I think they're all first class or priority too. I don't think we have anything difficult today. Easy. We do have a horse saddle.
Oh, that's when we sold it.
You know, it was going to Texas. So I'm like, okay, that's only a couple zones away. And they made I thought they made an offer more than that. Oh, they made an offer of $75. And I was like, you know what? I'll still make something. I only paid 20. The way I kind of viewed that, I know what I spent on that whole entire load that day of crap that I bought for my buddy, and it was like $200. So if I can make, after the shipping and everything, if I can get 50 back, that's 25% of my money back from the saddle.
Usually when I buy those at horse auction, I don't spend more than $7.50. I call them like clunker saddles, so I usually try to buy them between $2 to $7.50, and I don't go any higher than that because typically for us they cost $40 to ship.
Yeah, I can't believe you get them that cheap.
Horse auction, nobody rides in those. They're not riding saddles. I mean, they're outdated, they're crappy. You're at a horse auction. People usually aren't buying decorative saddles there. They're buying
looking for functional and considering those crap.
So what I call clunker saddles go for under $10.
It's like a pair of prison tennis shoes. When you're in prison, you want the nicest tennis shoes possible. It's your status symbol. And same thing with horses. When they want the nicest tack and saddles and stuff possible, nobody's going to use they don't want the girl with the horse next to them looking at their tack and stuff and saying, oh yeah, that stuff's no good.
And it's a very female orientated industry. I mean, they do just go out and spend and buy nice stuff,
Right. Oh, I need to back up just a minute and stay on the fecal matter for a minute. If you ever watched the show, and I can't remember if that was 20/20 or 60 Minutes, but if you've ever watched the show where they literally went into grocery stores, Walmart, everywhere else, and swabbed all of the shopping cart handles and
I don't watch that stuff.
If you would ever watch that, you would not even touch the shopping cart at Walmart before you grab those little wipey things.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
I stand and sanitize it and yell, fecal matter, and Tristan gets all like embarrassed. And the lady at the front at Walmart is so awesome. And then we'll usually have a discussion. I'll be like, do you know how much fecal matter's on this?
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah. We had this long discussion about fecal matter.
I also don't watch the slaughterhouse videos either, where they show urine dumping out on the meat and stuff like that either. I just don't want to know.
I like when you walk by the shopping cart and there's a little toddler in that seat that they have in the shopping cart, and the kid's sucking on the handle of the shopping cart. They're just mouthing it. I'm like, oh my god, kid, you're gonna get everything.
No, actually, those kids are probably the healthiest
Those
kids.
are the kids that end up not sick because their parents let them. Seriously, though, we had this discussion in Costco with this lady about why, she had relatives. We ended up standing at Costco for an hour with this lady we didn't even know, and she was so awesome. And that was one of the things we talked about. She's like, I let my kids eat dirt. If they were outside playing, they need a little dirt. And you know what? My kids later in life never got sick. Then there's my sister that keeps her kids indoors, and every time they sniffles, run them to the doctor and gives them an antibiotic. And one day she looked at us. I mean, they're older now, but she looked at us a few years ago. She goes, how come your kids are never sick? I'm like, because we let them be kids, and we don't pump them full of pharmaceuticals every time they sniffle, because your kids have no immune system. None.
Right.
It's all gone.
I think exactly that's exactly where I think peanut butter allergies come from. And I mean, I understand some people are just allergic to shellfish and stuff like that, but if you actually feed your kids peanut butter, even if they have a peanut butter allergy, they will grow immune to that. I mean, they won't have those reactions anymore.
Toughen up or die.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I mean, and if you feed them small amounts of it, it won't hurt them. It won't give them any reactions.
Well, it's like when I have this other thing I like to do when I'm in the produce section at the grocery store, and Tristan's like, do you want organic? And I'm like, no, I love pesticides, builds your immune system. But I just think, and no, I don't think pesticides are good for you. But I think I was watching I was watching some show last night. It was one of these documentaries that popped up on Netflix or whatever, one of the many accounts that we have that belongs to a friend that we borrow. And it was either that or Hulu or something. And apparently it's pretty popular. It was like, see what's trending now. And it was like something about healthy eating. And the guy's talking about, it was a lot about diabetes. And I mean, if you look at our society, he was giving the stats. And of course, I don't know if this documentary was legit. It may have all been spun to be, voodoo, hoodoo kind of crap. But he, one of the things that he was saying is 1 in 3 people over the age of have diabetes in this country. He's like, it's epidemic proportions. It is out of control, but nobody wants to talk.
Mm-hmm.
We all want to blame it on sugar. And then he starts interviewing doctors. And of course you have to kind of read between the lines with these documentaries, because you don't know if they're cuckoo doctors or, they may, just because they have MD behind their name doesn't mean they're legit. I mean, I hate to say that, but, and he starts interviewing them, and they're talking about, look at our diet as a society, not just Cokes. I mean, fast food and processed food and just shit that we put into our bodies.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why, and I think it's expected, I forget, like the next 10 years that 1 in 2 out of every year, I don't quote me on that one either, over the age of like 60 or 70 or whatever is going to have diabetes in this country. That's horrible. Like, there's more people with diabetes than there are with cancer, and our country doesn't even really, we just kind of go, okay, you know.
I'm horribly scared of diabetes. My mother died when she was 62. She had very bad diabetes. She ended up losing a leg. She was on dialysis before she died. All the complications of diabetes. And that's part of the reason why I don't drink soda. Not that I blame everything on soda. You should do it in moderation. She used to drink a lot of soda. And sometimes I wonder if that played a big part in that.
What about scotch?
Well, as long as you don't mix it with soda, maybe. I don't know.
Because diet soda is just as bad as the other stuff because it's got the fake sugar in it, you know. So a lot of people they just say, you know, well, I'm just going to drink the regular stuff because it's just as bad, you know.
Yeah.
Beth says peanut allergies are very serious. Not sure Sally's logic on that is quite safe. Well, sorry, it's no big deal, but I seen a documentary on it where they were giving kids butter just to build their immune system up to keep those allergies from messing with them, because they were afraid that their kids were going to grow up and somehow get, you know, some kind of food or something, or nuts or something in their food and die from it.
Why do we live? Here's my thing. Why do we live in a society where all of a sudden, and I'm with Sal, where all of a sudden all these kids have peanut allergies? 50 years ago, your kids weren't all running around with it. Why do we have such a high rate of autism in this country? I mean, really astronomically high. And don't tell me, well, autism didn't have a diagnosis back then. No, kids didn't have as many problems back then. When our society became fast food, go, electronics, everything else, and this is truly my theory, and I'm absolutely not a conspiracy theorist type person, but I think, you know, adding bullshit to the water to make it healthier for you, adding crap to our bread because, oh, you need that. We got to add stuff to our salt, you know, iodine so we don't get rickets and scurvy, which haven't even been around for like 200 years. I mean, there's a lot of things that get added because our government's going to help us, and I don't trust our government. I don't think our government, I think our government is definitely funded by lobbyists and by whoever's going to give them the most money. And they're going to tell. One of the things in this documentary last night was that the dangers of processed meats and what it does for causing diabetes. And then the guy goes to the American Diabetic Society, and they're pushing for their recipes for healthy living. They're pushing things like processed meat. So he calls him to get an answer, and he can't get an answer from him. Like, why are you pushing something that is more, or there was an American Cancer Society too, that is more likely to cause cancer? You're pushing that while you're just, you know, speaking about the dangers of smoking.
The show is What My Health.
Huh?
The show is What My Health.
What? That's it. Thank you. What my health? What the health? What the something?
Yeah. What My Health.
And I didn't make it all the way through it, so I'm not really by any means an expert that's going to speak on it. But
well, and he also put a good point that chicken and fish aren't as healthy as we thought it was either. Yeah,
because of all the stuff that they pump in solutions into chickens and stuff, in chicken plants and stuff like that. You know, at the end of the day, if you look at how our bodies were designed, I mean, we were designed to eat fruits and veggies and things out in the wild, probably occasional meats, but not to the point that we eat process. When you look at all the crap that we put in our bodies versus how they were designed back in, I mean, whatever you want, garden of Eden, let's go there or whatever. But, you know, when mankind was first started, you know, it's just, and then we wonder why we're sick.
Oh man,
I have a little example of why they don't do stuff, because that fights things, because it doesn't make them any money. There's a clinic in, I think it's La Crosse, and my husband and my daughter are both allergic to everything, and it's severe allergies to most everything. And we took them down, gosh, it was probably 15 years, 12 years ago. We took them down to this clinic in La Crosse, and they test you for absolutely everything and find out exactly what your allergies are. And they put a little minute of every allergy that you have in these drops.
Right. And it builds up
And
your immunity.
every day you take these, you put these drops under your tongue. Now, insurance didn't pay for it, and at the time we couldn't afford to keep giving them these drops. But in the few months that they were on those drops, my husband could go on the pig farm, in the pig barn, and clean up the pig shit, and it wasn't bothering him like it used to. So,
Well,
just in the few months that we had him on there, just the few months that we had him on those drops, it had improved his allergies immensely.
It's the same theory as allergy shots. That's what allergy shots are. They test you, and then they come up with a solution. And apparently, they can do it sublingually now, which is really cool, like what you're talking about. But I started taking bee pollen, and I don't get the processed stuff in the store. Our guy that we get our honey from, that actually owns the beehives, gives me the bee pollen that he harvests and keeps in the little container in the freezer, and just a little tiny pinch. And what that does is pretty much the same. You're small dosing your body to build up an immunity. To, of course, that's only build up, toward flowers. It's not going to build up toward, like, if you have a cat hair immunity. I guess you could eat cat hair for that, but so you just eat a little cat hair every day.
Yeah.
When I was talking about the peanut butter allergy thing, Beth, I wasn't saying that peanut butter was not a real allergy or anything like that. I know that there are people that will die because of that. And I'm not saying, if your kid's allergic to peanut butter, just go and give them small doses. You have to do this there's a risk to it, of course. And it's very minute doses that they were giving these people in this documentary that I seen, and it, to build their immunity. That's what they were doing. And I'm not saying that people should do that, and and stuff like that. It's just that that's what they were doing, because people weren't giving their kids something that maybe they needed when they were younger or something.
But I do feel like there's a lot of moms and dads that are overly protective, that are overly, why is that still in my needs to be shipped if I just ship it? That are ship the right damn thing, that are overly protective, and I personally know moms and dads like this, that, oh, my kid can't have that. They're like, okay, well, have you ever taken your kid to a doctor? My kid is gluten intolerant. Well, have you ever taken him to a doctor for that? No, I just know it bothers him, so we just keep him away from all, dairy and bread. And when it was like, what does your kid eat, And I do think that there's some parents that, rather than seeking a medical, and even with the medical system, medical community, I am kind of a little bit like, don't trust them on everything. Figure out what works for you. Figure out what your body's telling you. Obviously, don't put your kid at risk, if they go into anaphylactic freaking shock with when they get near a peanut or whatever. But at the same time, I don't understand how we got in a society where we have so many kids with peanut allergies where we didn't 50 years ago. Something is causing that. Something is causing birth defects. Something is causing autism. Something is causing all this crap that we didn't have even 30 years ago. ADHD. How many kids are diagnosed with ADHD? How many kids actually probably do have ADHD?
Yeah.
But the answer now, when I was, growing up in the 70s, I'm sure I would have gotten a diagnosis had ADHD been a diagnosis back then. My mom took me to the pediatrician, and he said, no, he's just either really smart or really special or touched or whatever, but he'll outgrow it. And he's just a hyper little boy, So I didn't get meds for whatever, they didn't pump me full of synthetic speed, which is pretty much what ADHD drugs are. I'm not saying they don't have their time and their place, but we live in a society where it's too easy to just throw a pill at everything.
Well, they diagnose everybody with it. Don't matter.
Yeah, me and Valerie have an uncle. Me and Valerie have an uncle that is in his 60s right now, and he still shows signs of ADHD, like severe. And he's always been that way. And it's
And
just,
I don't think
you don't usually see people his age be that way. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
that's
he's
like my niece.
completely ADHD.
My niece, they sat and I said she was just a brat. And the doctor said she had ADHD and bipolar and all this. Well, she's gotten herself off all those meds and she don't have these issues anymore. And she's an adult. No, she was just a spoiled little freaking brat when she was little was what the problem was. But they had her on, oh my God, cute dog. He looks like my lug nut. Anyways, he's so cute. Anyways, you know, they put her on all these meds when she was younger and she was still a freaking brat. She was still naughty, you know? And hi, Snoopy. Snoopy, Snoopy.
Looking around.
Anyways, yeah, so and she when she was an adult, she got herself off all these meds and she's still living without them. So okay, if she was truly ADHD and bipolar, she would still need those meds. If you're truly sick, you need those meds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think she was just a freaking spoiled brat and needed to just behave herself.
If you take Adderall and it has a speedball, this is my personal theory. If you take Adderall and it has a speedball effect on you, you don't truly have ADHD. It should have a calming effect on you. And I have known numerous people, oh, I have ADHD, I have ADD, my doctor told me whatever. I'm like, Tristan, for example, they put her on Adderall. I'm like, how did they test you? Well, they had me sit down at a computer and take this test to see how long I'm like, you took a 10-minute computer test is going to diagnose you with ADHD. That's going to put you on something that's in theory is just synthetic speed. And we're going to trust that. You know, and if it has a speedball effect on you, then you don't have it. If it has a calming effect and it works, then yeah, you probably do have it. That's my own personal theory. Somebody was talking about having like cat and dog allergies. I mean, I'm allergic to cats, dogs, ragweed, pollen. I mean, you name it, I'm allergic to it. I live in a house with 2 cats and a dog. What I have learned is if the dog lays on a pillow, don't put my freaking face on it. If don't touch an animal and pet it, it's the pet dander that I'm allergic to. And as long as I don't get that dander to face, then I have no problem. And living with them has probably built up a lot of my immunity. Now, I'm not saying that's going to work for everybody. This is not a medical show. Go consult your doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
A cat would kill my husband, but dogs are okay as long as I keep the dog bathed and as long as I keep the furniture vacuumed and stuff like that. And yeah, as long as he's not laying on the pillows and stuff like that, he's fine with the dogs. But you have to, you know, keep your house decently clean too.
Yeah.
Because you can tell as soon as the dogs start bothering my husband, I know it's time to give him a bath. You know, if he starts getting kind of sniffly, it's like, oh, lug nut's time to give you a bath.
And everybody's different. I'm not like Sally said. I mean, we're not being judgmental against a kid that has peanut. I get where Sally's coming from on it. I hope that, you know, nothing's taken the wrong way. I just think we live in a society that it's too easy to say, oh, I don't know how many friends have, oh, I have this. I'm like, how do you know you have it? Well, you know, I read it on WebMD. I diagnosed myself on WebMD or whatever, you know.
I used to have hay fever so bad whenever I would mow the lawn when I was a kid. And I mean, just mowing a little part of the lawn for like 30 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes, I would be sick for like 3 or 4 days with hay fever. And it was awful. Now I don't have a problem, which is weird. So it's something that I grew out of. But did I stop mowing the lawn? No, I didn't. I mow the lawn I don't mow the lawn all the time, but you know, like I'm out there in it and stuff, and I don't keep myself from that just because I've had problems before, and now I don't have a problem at all.
Thrift Daddy said ADHD sucks, got diagnosed at 37, the drugs help my focus. I'm saying that there is my father-in-law is a prime candidate for some ADHD drugs. I mean, it is like, I don't think he'd have to be tested. He'd just have to have a 30-minute conversation with with a psychiatrist, and they'd be like, "Yep," but you know, and that we've talked to him. You know, have you thought about getting on it? Yada yada yada. And he just kind of, you know, doesn't do it. I think there is a time and a place for stuff like that. I just think I feel as if we live in a society that is way too easy to write a prescription without a valid diagnosis. That's my theory.
And like I said, you know, Thrift Daddy, his meds help him. That's good. That means he must have it. But my niece, she was still a brat with or without her meds.
Well, and there's people that have figured, you know, Adderall causes major weight loss, and there's people that have figured that out. It's a kick-ass diet drug.
Really?
I mean, unofficially, yeah. And there's people that figured out. There's kids that have figured out, hey, it helps me to stay alert. I mean, it's really, 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 really a really abused drug as well. You know, kids use it for binge studying, and it's a popular college drug and stuff as well. And you know, there's people that have figured that out. And I'm gonna go to my doctor and tell him I think I have ADHD and get it. You know. And doctors aren't perfect, but I think if doctors spent more time with people, actually getting to the root of issues. And I don't mean to toot my horn and tell my story again, but it's like when my doctor told me, she's like, you have high blood pressure caused by sleep apnea, caused by gaining weight. Boom, cause this, cause this, cause this. That documentary talked about it a little bit last night. They're like, we would rather just treat diabetes, give people insulin, put them on drugs, and do this and this and this, because no doctor wants to stand up and go, you're overweight, you are morbidly obese or obese, and you need to lose weight, and you will probably get rid of a lot of these. There's a good chance you'll get rid of a lot of these problems if you get your weight under control. But no doctor wants to say that, you know?
Right.
Because that doesn't make them money, and that doesn't make big pharma money. Bam! That's what I'm talking about. So, I don't know. Heard my story.
Correct. Opioids. When you talk about doctors prescribing stuff, my ex-wife, the situation with the opioids, it's like a month and you're an addict. And I don't care if you're Mother Teresa. No one can resist opioids. It's just the way we're made up. It's the way our brain functions. There is no superhuman person who can take opioids for a month and not become addicted to opioids. It's just what it is. But yet doctors whip out the scripts. You got some kind of weird ghost pain. Here's some OxyContin. They pat you on the fanny and send you out. And they turn you into an addict. And same thing. I mean, it's the money, I guess. It's the selling. I just don't understand it.
When I broke my ankle and they did the surgery and all that stuff, I mean, they sent me home with Lortabs. They wrote me Lortabs for the next 4 months, and I freaking love. If there was anything on this earth that I could easily get addicted to, it would be painkillers. I will totally admit it. I love that feeling.
And it doesn't make you weak. It's just the way we're made up. It's the way humans are wired. It doesn't make you a weak person. No one can resist that.
And they did it for 3, 4, 5 months, and finally I went in and I looked at the doctor. I'm like, they wouldn't write another prescription. I'm like, I need help. I need to get off these. I literally am titrating myself, and I am in the fetal position. And I finally, kind of pissed me off. It was the physician's assistant, and because he's a surgeon, so of course he can't see his own patients. He's like, we're not in the business of getting people off those. I said, and I cussed at him. I said, you effing wrote them. You wrote them for 4 months straight. He goes, well, you need to see your primary. I said, my primary didn't write the meds you got me hooked on. And I said, I'm not asking for more. I don't want more. And finally, I ended up toughing it out. I laid in bed in the fetal position for about a week and got myself off of them. And then when I went back to have surgery 6 months later, or to have the bars and pins taken out, I flat out looked at the surgeon and I told him every bit of the story and told him what his physician's assistant did. And I said, do not write me any opioids. He's like, how are you? He said, well, you shouldn't have a whole lot of pain, but no, I respect that. What's going on? And I told him the whole story, and he's like, wow, I needed to know that. I was like, yeah, you need to know that, because that's how your practices work, and that's why people get hooked on painkillers. And then when they can't get them from you anymore, they go buy them, or they move to heroin, or they do whatever, you know. Thanks,
it's
Dr. Douchebag.
But it's your own body will cause you to be sick, will cause you to rationalize why you need to do this. It drove my ex-wife to not, I mean, you got to take some responsibility for your own actions, but I mean, she was so messed up at the end. She stole a prescription pad.
Wow.
But this is not a person who had a history of doing stuff like that.
But it's desperation.
Yeah. Vomiting, like you say, curled up in the fetal position. I think it's because of her pain that the doctor can't manage. What it actually is her withdrawal from the opioid. But it's like, opioids are going to do what they do. It's what they do. But I don't understand why doctors can't see that they're getting their patients addicted to these things, and it's not like, well, I have a strong personality, I won't become addicted. No, everyone is going to be. Opioids.
Well, didn't you say Oxycontin? There's no way you can't become addicted
to
it if it's on long-term use.
It's over 30 days. Yeah. Over 30 days on Oxycontin, you're addicted. You're going to have to go through some kind of process to become unaddicted to the thing. But as again, when you're talking about doctors, I just look at them, I don't understand. It's like, don't you care? Don't you understand? I don't get it. Rant over.
Megan Carl said, I believe there are these disorders genuinely, but there are too many people diagnosing their kids with things like ADD and ADHD because with Dr. Google, because they're too damn lazy to put their phones down and play with them. There you go.
I agree.
And we went from slobby pies to doctor bashing. Never a dull moment here.
True.
No, it's just, and Hank Allen Cash said, now I'm on the weight loss and overall health mission again. I let myself gain from such a sedentary lifestyle. Got to make changes where I can and get to feeling great and at my best. And I was telling, I think it was Valerie and Eric yesterday, I didn't walk for do my typical walking for 2 or 3 days this week. And finally I was like, I felt like crap. Like, I feel better when I get out and do something. And Eric was like, yeah, it's because your body is used to it, used to the not healthy living. I mean, I was still eating good. And so I got out and walked yesterday. I feel great today. I felt great the rest of the day yesterday. There's a lot of stuff in, like, even just basic walking increases dopamine and serotonin and all these things in your brain that fight pain, that fight depression, that do all this, that normally we just write an antidepressant for. Not saying there's not a time or place or a need for antidepressants, but a lot of that is naturally occurring in our brains by certain lifestyles, by certain foods. But it's easier to just take a pill sometimes. And it's tough. I mean, it's, there's not, especially if you're fighting severe depression, which is a genuine thing. I mean, it's going to be hard to you don't just wake up one day and say, I mean, you could, but, most people aren't just going to wake up one day and go, I think I'll go for a walk. It's going to take a loved one pushing you or a major health scare or something where you just pretty much decide, I don't want to do that anymore.
No. Like how I call it, without having a vehicle, unwanted cardio.
What you call what?
Because I unwanted cardio because I don't have a vehicle right now. So my bike riding to work and back is unwanted cardio.
There you go. You're getting exercise, getting fit, Sally.
And I feel better. I do feel better, like physically,
Yeah.
Because I worked 7 days in a row. But
in the spring, me and Jim were like, we're going to try to lose some weight. We were biking and stuff, but then we start doing other stuff and we lose time. But we should really do it. He looks like the Marlboro Man. He wears his jeans while he's biking with a leather jacket and spring here. I'm like, you look like the Marlboro Man. Can't you dress like a
And whatever you do, folks who want to stay fit, do not eat a bowl of Moose Tracks ice cream for breakfast.
I was going to ask you, are you eating ice cream right now? Literally ice cream.
A big cereal bowl of Moose Tracks ice cream.
Hey, I thought you said you'd eat fiber in the morning.
Well, not this morning.
This is my snack.
Oh, no.
Go see if I have some ice cream. That'll make me feel better.
One time I come home, I had to go to our field trip, and his first wife came to talk to him about something. He goes, oh my God, I got in the house. I was so stressed. I couldn't help myself. I ate a half gallon of ice cream. His first wife. Anyway.
That's so funny.
Hank Allen Cash said, Absolutely. It's amazing how sometimes we know what makes us happier and healthier, but we still don't do it. It's hard to break old habits and replace them with new good ones. It takes time. Because we live generally in a society, I mean, God, look at, we spend all day on our freaking phones. I mean, we live in a society that just literally is glued to electronics, and it's hard to do. You know, even though like Jim and Tara, they get out on the boat, just getting out in the sunshine, even if you're not exercising, riding in a boat is good for you and will lift your just getting outdoors. I mean, there's times I go and sit in our driveway. I think I don't do like yoga or, you know, I don't know, or whatever, but I will literally just go sit in the sun. This is kind of one of my old things, because sunlight gives you vitamin D and helps you. And just to see, like, if I'm having a day where I'm feeling down, I'll go sit in the sun for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just get up. And Jim, we do a lot of stuff outside. I mean, like on the weekends or later in the afternoon. I mean, we might be out. He might be outside working on engines, or doing the horses, or doing farm work. So we do get outside a lot and do like physical activity.
I think no matter what you do, you need to. Your mind is like a spring, and I think sometimes it gets wound up too tight, and you just gotta let it kind of relax and unwind. And I know it seems like wasted time, you know, when you're just like going out on the boat or something like that, but it's not really wasted time, because while you're doing that activity, you're going to think about stuff. And sometimes you're going to come up with ideas that are going to help you in the rest of your life that you wouldn't, if you didn't take time to reflect, you wouldn't come up with those ideas or thoughts. So I think you do need some downtime. You do need some time to relax and rejuvenate, or else it becomes counterproductive.
That's me and Gary. You know, we get out and do stuff like that all the time, and we love it. And then like when I've been up at the steam farm all week, I haven't had my phone on me except for when the eclipse was going on. I was looking at stuff, but other than that, I haven't had my phone on me. It just stays right in the car.
You know what is one of my favorite things to do, and this is gonna make me sound shitty. I like to go out and mow the grass. We have a riding lawnmower. Because it's like when I can like think, I don't have Jim talking to me. I don't have my son talking to me. I'm just kind of like by myself, and I come up with my best ideas. I'm just out there riding around on my riding lawnmower.
And like one time, me and Gary
are really active people. I mean, you're always up, and like you said, loading something in the barn or out of the barn or going to an auction. Even that helps, you know.
Yeah. I
think for me personally, it was I just didn't leave my office. I just literally sat in here under some LED lighting, killing myself, you know.
Well, and I'm assuming when Jim was talking about the OxyContin, when I came back in, he was talking about his first wife. His first wife is a very melancholy person. She doesn't go outside. She sits in the house and reads books and is like Eeyore, you know, like, oh, how you doing? And I think sometimes maybe that helped play into that. Maybe she had a little depression stuff too. Not to talk bad, but anyway.
No, you can talk about it.
You can talk about it. I guess usually I tend to stop and ask myself, and I do think that we've made great advances in medical science and prescriptions and fighting drugs that save lives and stuff like that. But what did people do in the the 1800s? I always kind of tend to ask myself, go back in time. Like, what did they do 100 years ago? They didn't take a pill to fight whatever. They got out because they were more active and they're more healthy.
Yeah.
You know?
It was like, go do something. It's like when you said that about going to the bathroom, what eating healthy. You know, cave people didn't sit around and eat processed food. They also didn't sit around and feel sorry for themselves either. That's a bad thing to say.
No, but if you
that's not a good thing to say. You know, sit in the house all the time and get inactive.
But they also had to go out to lunch with you. Yeah. You know, you had to go do stuff to
$75. But it's tough in this business too, because there is nobody telling you you know, what to do, or to get up and to go outside, or to take a break and stretch from your cubicle, or go to lunch, or whatever. I mean, it's definitely you have to be a self starter and a self motivator to get up and do things. And I'm typically not.
The other laugh because we have to schedule a fun day. I mean, we literally, like, one day we were going to go out on the boat, and it was like every time we turned around, some mini crisis showed up that, you know, like prevented us. But it's funny, we have to schedule a fun day.
The other day when we were up at the steam farm, and I had my tractor out running, and my little great nephew was there. He's I think he's 9, 8. No, he's 8. Anyways, and he was sitting in the car playing on his leap pad, and I said, "Hey Wyatt, why don't you come on over? I'll give you you can steer the tractor, you know." And he's like, "No, I'm busy." And I was like, wow, is that a change in the generations? We were all up on those tractors learning how to drive tractors before. I mean, we were barely walking and we were driving tractors, you know. And I mean, like I told my nephew, I said, wow, is this a change in generations? Because as soon as my dad would hit that driveway of the steam farm, I was out of that car and I was running, and I didn't stop until we left. Climbing on wood piles, playing in the wood shavings, you know, driving tractors. I mean, we were doing everything, climbing trees. But he just sat in the car and wanted to play his leap pad. I was like, that is just a sad situation.
Yeah.
So get over here and steer this tractor, you know, be a boy, have fun, you know. And I see these people when we go to dinner or something. I see these people, and they're both the couple and the kids, and they're all sitting there on their phones eating dinner, and none of them are talking to each other.
Oh, that is messed up.
Yeah.
They're just sitting there playing on their phones, you know. And I mean, like me and my husband, you know, sometimes we'll be playing on our phones or whatever, but we don't have them right in our face, or we're sharing what we're looking at to each other, or we're talking about what we're doing on our phone or whatever, you know, but we're still conversing about it, you know. I don't understand those families that just sit there and they're just on their phones and they don't talk, you know.
Can you load up some sticky labels for me?
The family that Farmville's together stays together.
Yeah. And everybody wonders why nobody likes each other, because they don't talk to each other.
You know, we live in a society that we're connected to 21 pounds. 21 pounds. We're connected to our devices, and we're raising a generation of lazy kids. I mean, we just found out yesterday that our son, through part of a homeschooling program thing that's paid for by the state, our kid, as long as he is 16 years old and has at least a 2.5 GPA, so I mean the threshold is very low. Hold on, let me see if I can pull the thing up. There's a program with a local community college where, let me see if I can find them. There's a program through a local community college where he can actually do dual enrollment, and we're going to get him in that in January. He can get a degree in computer information systems, is one of the things they offer for free because the state pays for it. And there's a lot of technical stuff. There's like welding. There's some electrical engine. I can't remember which ones of these are covered or not, but there's welding. There's automotive service technology. I think cosmetology is not covered. Heating and air, this HVAC program, they can go to it for free. Free.
Oh.
Like he could graduate homeschooling at 18 and have a degree in whatever, if that's something.
Nice.
He's into computers. And the reason that was given when we were talking to the lady, she's like, there's nobody wants to learn it. They're trying to push more people learning a trade because nobody wants to do that anymore. Our kids now want to sit on, oh my God, I'd have to get dirty to do that. You know,
they want to be YouTube stars.
Nobody's learning trades anymore.
No.
How many chances did I say someone?
Well, that's like my husband's mind. It's such a rare thing these days. You know, my husband can absolutely do anything or fix anything or build anything. And those minds are so far and few between now.
Yep.
There's so many people out there, you know, they're book smart, but they don't know how to do anything. If it didn't come out of a book, they don't know how to do it. My husband sees that a lot because he's a maintenance guy, you know, and he sees that a lot with some of the newer employees that come in, the new maintenance guys. They don't know how to do this simple stuff. And all they know how to do is replace parts, where my husband will take the old parts, rebuild them or whatever, and they last another 10 years or 20 years, saving the company thousands of dollars, you know. But everybody else, you know, when he was off with his shoulder off of work for 9 months, there were all kinds of things that were being replaced that Gary was like, wow, I could have just fixed that, you know. But now they're in that mode of replace parts, you know, where Gary has saved that company thousands of dollars by just fixing the parts that they already had.
There was an article I read the other day, and I'm not going to blame it all on. I'm not going to blame it all on millennials, but because I hate. I mean,
bless you.
I'm not a big fan of buzzwords and labeling people or whatever, but there's a lot of things I was reading. What was it? It was on .com. Not sure how it was there, but there's a lot of things that the upcoming generations are just killing. Chain restaurants was one of them, because we live in a society now that's more about delivery. They're more about, you know, some of the kids are healthier, so some of them are cooking. That's a good thing. Let's see, paper napkins. I thought that was interesting. Major hardware stores, movie theaters. You know, because look at the society we live in. Movie theaters are dying. Golf was one of them. Handshakes.
Well, I have to say, movie theaters, that's part of their own problem. They're so damn expensive. A family can't afford to go out to the movie theater these days.
Yeah. This was not the same article. Hold on. I don't like this one. It's like wine, hotels, Airbnb, and stuff like that. I mean, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that industry needs to kind of revamp. But
yeah.
Napkins. Bar soap. Think about it. Everybody's into body wash.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. Kind of gives you a bigger, you know, and being in the reselling business, tying in with that, you know, brick and mortar stores. I would hate to own a brick and mortar store in this day and age unless it was something specialized that you can't do online, you know, or can't buy on. Home Depot and home improvement stores. The cereal industry. This is what this article says. I'm not saying these are all true. The 9 to 5 workday.
Yeah.
Gasoline and big oil. That one needs.
I would imagine. I would even imagine daycares because there's a lot of people working from home nowadays.
We got the technology, and we have had for a gazillion years. I mean, look at this Honda CRX that came out in They changed the body styles in 1988, and they had an HF model, which stood for high fuel. Was a fast little car. Over in Japan, they actually put 2 extra seats in the back. It was capable of being a 4-seater. Here, it was just a 2-seater. The HF model was rated at 65 miles per the gallon highway. This is before it wasn't a hybrid. It was just straight up gasoline, and it was still a fast little car. But what happened to it? Motor Trend Car of the Year about 3 years in a row. I think it was 88, 89, 90, maybe 91. Motor Trend Car of the Year, and then all of a sudden it just disappears.
Well, that's because they don't want something like that.
That's because we don't want, exactly.
Look at how things are built these days. You know, I mean, you can't. Nothing lasts anymore. We're a throwaway society. Everything's built to be thrown away.
All right, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap the show up for today. I did put the link in the reseller squad. So if you want to go over there and come on into the working hangout, we'll be having that. And so yeah.
And you can hear us talk about poop and pee a while.
Yeah. You can get a little bit more of that. And you can get some work done. So everybody have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.